Hey everyone, it's Melissa Thomas with C2C Stamping, and I don't know if you've had a chance to play with the Otterly Amazing Suite. There is a paper pack and some beautiful gems and ribbon and a really fun stamp set. I love river otters and I've had a ton of fun playing with this. I taught this in my senior center classes last month, so I'm going to show you a couple cards. But this is the stamp set, and the die set is really fun. There's a lot of detail pieces. The log is fun. You can die cut some of the otters, both from the stamp set and the paper, which is really nice. Some neat seaweed and greenery. You can also cut some large fish and small fish out, and that's actually where the idea for these two cards came from. So, and then this also cuts some slits in your paper, so you can have otters kind of coming out of the paper, and so you can have them like peeking from behind. It's pretty cool. So, but I ended up with a lot of these little fishies, and there were more, but I think they got thrown away at a class. So I wanted to do something with some of the fish. So let me show you where we got all these fish from. We were making this card, which has a fun, kind of peekaboo technique where you put the Calypso coral paper behind it, using the DSP and the twine and some of the dies. So these are the two cards that we made in class, and I thought these were really fun. You use the DSP really well. And then I showed a few of these other ones. This is that Motherhood Motto stamp set, and I thought these were just really cute with a parent and a child. This could be for both Mother's Day and Father's Day. And I thought there was a couple that were just perfect. And of course, I love this sentiment. You never notice how weird you are until you have a kid that acts just like you, or support wildlife and raise children. So you've seen me playing with this paper a little bit, but I have got two fun cards I want to show you, and we're going to make them and design them together here. So let's do it. We're going to make two shaker cards. Anytime that I am cutting out a whole bunch of little tiny things and I think I can use them, it makes me want to make a shaker card. So this one's going to be a little different. We're going to use this, and I'm going to use this punch to actually make the shaker piece. And I'm going to punch it from the top right about here. Okay, so what this is going to do, we've got a card base here. We're going to put this piece behind here, and then this is going to go here. So you're going to be able to see some of these guys. And then this guy is going to kind of sit and watch his friends. And he's going to be sitting on a log. And then we're going to have like a little sentiment piece, and we're going to do this. And I think I want to do it like this. I just want to make sure that I don't want him this low, I don't think. I think I want him up there. Okay, so I'm going to get my bone folder, and we're gonna make this card. This is gonna be fun. All right, we've got this. So I'm going to put this piece of paper down first, and I'm just gonna kind of, square it up on the page, and then we'll kind of, we'll find ourselves here later. We're going to take this piece and we're going to build the shaker piece. I forgot my window sheet. Hold on. Good. All right, so we need window sheet for this. And the great thing is I have a lot of window sheet that I had cut really small because I had used the other pieces, and I was like, man, how am I going to use these? And now I know. All right, so then what we do is we take our window sheet, and we're going to go ahead and put some glue and just kind of make sure we get that window sheet piece adhered. Then we're going to take our foam adhesive strips, and I'm going to grab one or two of these. I'm hoping for a continuous one. So let me I show you how to do that. So these foam adhesive strips are super fun. I like to go a little, I don't want to go too far back, but I also want to make sure, I don't want to see it from the front of the card, but I also don't want all of my like little sprinkles to get stuck in here. So I'm kind of moderately going towards the edge. And if you size it just right, then you can use just one of these to get all the way around your piece, which is awesome. All right, and you want that pretty tight so that nothing falls in there. And then one thing that I like to do is put my embossing buddy in there. So I'll just kind of rub my embossing buddy just a little bit in here. It might cloud it up just a little bit, but what it does is it takes the static out, so then your items won't cling as much to the window sheet. So we're gonna add these guys, and I think I'm gonna add a healthy number, but I'm gonna save a few for this other card that I've got. And then I'm also gonna add a little bit of sparkle too. So and you might think that you're adding too much, but trust me, things get caught on the edges, and you know, it's good. You want a healthy amount in there. This is the bouquet, mixed bouquet, something like that. I don't know. Let's see, what's it called? Itty bitty bouquet is this one. So I'm using this one. We're going to take this piece off. And then I'm going to try to match the card this way. And hopefully I did a good enough job and it's relatively straight. We'll see. Sometimes you get too big of a pile and sometimes it's just right. Yeah, that's good. I think that looks cute. So we've got some fishies and some floaty things. That's fun. Then we're gonna get our scissors and we're going to fussy cut this. I love that the paper does the work for you with this set. The bundle is on the last chance list, but the paper is actually sticking around, which is kind of funny. And that's kind of been the case with quite a few sets. So, you know, check the online store and see, but this is a really fun bundle suite. The suite itself with all the components is also on the last chance list. So I'm gonna trim that piece off. So I'm trimming one of the greenery pieces off, but then I think I'm gonna preserve this other one over here if I can. We'll see. See how good I am. And I'm not gonna go too perfect around these cattails. I'm gonna kind of, you know, do what I can, but I'm not gonna worry too much. If it's easy to cut down, you know, into here, I will. If it's not, I'm not gonna go too far. I don't wanna cut anything off. All right, so we're gonna go there. And again, you're just leaving a cloud, right? Because we just want to, you know, if we leave a cloud and a little bit of space, then it kind of tricks the eye into thinking we did a really good job cutting this out, when we did maybe a mediocre job cutting this out. All right, I'm going to clip that rock. I thought this one otter was so cute. He's such a sweet little guy. Isn't he adorable? So I'm gonna put him here, and I have die cut one of the logs. So I think I'm gonna put the log kind of here and have him kind of resting on the side. And then I wanna put the label somewhere on the front somewhere, but I don't know where yet, and I'm still not sure. Maybe I'm gonna go this way. No, I think I like the log the other way. And then I feel like maybe this piece of the card is a little naked. I don't know, naked might not be the right word. So I'm gonna look and see if there's another piece of DSP that maybe we can just put on this front panel. I don't love this much green. I think the green is good, but I think it's a lot. So I'm gonna see what else I can find. You know, we could put some of this over here, but I think it would probably detract from whatever else we have going on. It doesn't really make sense. Let's see, what else would be good? There's the little fishies, but again, I think that's kind of weird and detracts from all of that. I do have some pieces. Like this piece might be interesting because it's kind of, it's calm, you know, but it's you know, it's got some greens and whatever. I'm just not sure I like it. Because then this would kind of indicate that he's under the water as well, right? And he's not. He's actually on land, kind of looking at his friends. So I need a land piece. Now that is the flip side of it, is the rocks, and I think that might be what I end up using. I'm just gonna use the rocks to fill a little bit of the space, and then I think that'll work, because then I can do that, and then I can probably do a little sentiment, and I think that'll be cute, so it fills a little bit of the space. All right, so we need about, I don't know, whatever this is. I've got my trimmer here. Maybe 2 1/4. Yeah, so that butts kind of right up to it, and I think that's great. I hadn't used the pebble side of this on any of my cards yet, but I thought it was really pretty, so I'm excited to be able to use it. All right, and then we're going to glue the log down just a little bit. It doesn't need a lot, just a little. And then I think I'm going to pop him up on some dimensionals. I've just got my little mini dimensionals here. He's very cute. And then normally I would like support the rest of this, and I probably wouldn't stamp on this piece, but I don't think adding another layer is helping. And so I think what I'm gonna do is I am gonna stamp right on the card front. And I'm gonna stamp this, "You're utterly amazing," which I realize is a bold move to try to do that on the card front itself, but it'll be okay. I'll use Pretty Peacock, which is the same color as the card base. And then if it turns out, we're all going to be very, very happy. 1, 2, 3. Yay, it came out. You're utterly amazing. All right, that's a cute card. And I think that's well balanced now with all those pieces. So yay. All right. The inside, I am just going to do a little white piece, and then I had these little fish, but now they're going the wrong direction. So I'll just tuck a white piece in there, and if I add something, you know, later, I can do that. I can always add some more of the rocks. I've got this fun rock piece. I could put another rock piece over on this side. There we go. Cute. All right. So there's one. So that's one way to build a shaker, right? Is basically building it from the front back. The other way to make a shaker card is to use a clear envelope. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a shaker card. So these are our clear medium envelopes. We use them to package cards a lot. So you'll see me, that's how I kind of protect cards. And what we're gonna do is, I loved this piece a lot and I don't really wanna do much to it. So I'm going to put it in a clear envelope, and I'm gonna add probably some fish and some sequins. And then I'm going to seal it up and add it to the card front. So this kind of creates what they call a faux shaker. So we can add some of these guys, some of these fishies. They're actually kind of stuck in here. They're clinging in here. That's exactly why we add the window sheet, or the Stampin' Buddy on here. So I'm actually just gonna put the Stampin' Buddy. I'll just kind of smear it a little on here, and then just a little bit, and that'll help us. All right, so let's get some of these guys out. I'm gonna use the rest of my little fish that I carefully die cut. And there's 2 white fish in here. I don't know where they came from. I don't know how they got here, but I'm gonna try to get them out because I don't want them with all the others. And then I was having a hard time choosing between the loose frosted dots and the loose gold sequins, but I do know frosted dots don't move as well in here, so I think I'm gonna keep it to the gold sequins. These are brand new and they're really, really pretty, and I think they're gonna look really nice in here. So I'm going to put 2 pinches. That seems like a lot, maybe a pinch and a half. I don't know. Is there ever such thing as too many? I don't know. I don't think so. All right. So then we're going to stick this in here. Awesome. I'm gonna kind of keep it tight on the edge. I'm gonna flip it over so that I can work on the back. So I'm gonna go ahead and seal it. So I'm gonna flip it over here and seal it nice and tight. And then I want this edge to be tight too, so I've just got some Scotch tape, and I'm going to flip this, and we're gonna Scotch tape it. And I'm gonna Scotch tape it pretty well all the way left and right. I really don't want, you know, a gap anywhere here. There. So now, oh yeah, that's fun. So now we've got sequins and fishies and the cute little otters going everywhere. So that's a fun card. We're gonna use our bone folder again. And because these 2 otters, we're gonna mount this on here. These 2 otters I felt like were more adult otters. I was gonna use the "we're cute together" sentiment. So I'm gonna peel that one off, and I'm gonna put that in here. And we are going to, this is just on a scrap piece. And I think what I want to do is I want to run it from edge to edge. So I'm going to probably stamp, you know, on the right of this. And I'm going to use the Pretty Peacock again because it's a pretty color. We're cute together. What a fun card. All right, and then I want to make sure it runs all the way to the edge. So I'm pretty sure I know that this is 5 1/4, but it's a little over 5 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it to like 5 3/8. And if it's a little over, I can trim it. Now, I could put this up with dimensionals on here, and I think it would be fine. And then I could flat glue this piece down, or I could pop this up with dimensionals. I think I'd prefer to pop the sentiment up with dimensionals. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. And I did see it was a little bit over on this side, so I'm not gonna go all the way to the end. I'm gonna go close. I think right about there is cute, because then we can see all the little fishies, you know, at the bottom. And then I'm just gonna kind of hold this up and trim it. Perfect. And then I'm going to glue this down with some wet glue. I could use tear and tape as well. You know, there's a lot of different adhesives I could use for this, but I think this will work. And I'll just kind of hold it, press it, and make sure that that wet glue, you know, has a chance to dry, because we're attaching a porous and non-porous surface. So, but I think that's a cute, cute card. And then on the inside piece, I've got a little bit of some seaweed, and we'll put this together for the inside. And I overshot this one too, but that's okay. That's why we can trim. And I just want to make sure this is, you know, well adhered. I could always take my punch and kind of have that, weigh that down while it's drying, just for a second. So the foam adhesive strips are great. I highly recommend them. I use them a lot, and I've used, sometimes we get small ones in our paper pumpkins, but I like the long ones because you can just do one, you know, continuous loop. So, all right, so then we're gonna stick this on the inside. That is a really cute card. All right, so we made 2 shaker cards with the cute little fish and the otters. I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know if you have any questions or anything, but I really think that shaker cards are so fun to make, and you can make really easy faux shaker cards. I don't really think this is all that faux. Or you can make the kind of the original kind that have a little bit more depth to them. You could make the whole card front a shaker card. It's really up to you. So enjoy. Thanks so much. Hope you're keeping cool this summer. Bye, y'all.